I'm delighted to say three lovely ladies from the United States, Laura Kraut, Kessler and Katie Prudent as well, all linked in a little way through the sport from that point of view. Katie, coming to you first, well, you've had an amazing career and continue to have an amazing career, but also you're here training as well, aren't you, here this week?
Yes, I'm riding in the two-star, and I have 6 students competing in the various events. All levels.
Well, one of them is sitting next to you, Reed Kessler, and
yes.
also godmother to Reed, I understand,
That's
as well.
correct.
So there's a family link as well, but a huge influence, Reed, Katie, on your part.
I started training with Katie when I was 13, but my whole life she's always had a hand in my upbringing, horses and otherwise. And yeah, she's had the biggest influence on my riding career.
Well, Katie, you've been a big influence to many as well. Laura Kraut, I'm going to come to you. We're going through everybody in the top end of US show jumping here, which is great to see. Laura, Katie's also had an influence on you through your career.
Absolutely. I would say she's probably the reason I have reached this level of competition, because primarily I had competed in the United States only. A couple of times to the World Cup finals, but other than that I stuck at home, and Katie was the one who inspired me and enabled me to come over here and experience being part of Nations Cups, and yeah, I think I hold her responsible.
Well, that's great to hear. Well, we're going to let Frederick escape up to the commentary box while he's doing that. Katie, for you, you've had an illustrious career, as we know. What have been some of the highlights for you?
You know, my best years were in the 80s, which seems like yesterday, but it's 20 years ago. And what was really fun for us in America was when Mercedes was involved in our sport. And Rider of the Year, Horse of the Year, we won cars, which here in Europe, cars are often awarded. But in America, we never, ever got a car. So I would say the 80s were great years for me in America, and also starting to come to Europe was a great joy.
Plenty of nice cars to drive through that period from that point of view.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And now working with Reed on her career in terms of Olympic Games last year, how big a thing was that for you, Reed, having Katie in your stable from that point of view, the extra hand there, having Katie there at the Olympic Games?
Katie has so much experience, years and years of experience at championships, gold medal at the World's Championships, and so to have someone there who's really been through it all and knows the entire experience to walk you through it. I was very, very green at that point. For sure, I wouldn't have been able to do it without her or even get there without her. Like Laura, she's totally responsible.
And Laura, taking yourself back to Reed's age, if you like, how nervous were you round about that a couple of years ago?
Just a few years back. No, I think the year that Katie became involved for me was the year 2000. I had a really lovely 9-year-old named Liberty, and my plan was to just do the Olympic trials as experience. And Katie grabbed a hold of me and said, "That's ridiculous. Get some experience over in Europe, and you can go to the Olympic Games." And like Reed, I did. She made it happen for me, and it was. I was not as young as Reed. I think I don't even remember how old I was, but I was older, but still in awe of the whole process.
And how much of an influence still is Katie on you from that point of view? Because there are lots of influences that come now across the whole of the sport.
Tremendous. I watch her teach. I think everyone around the world admires the way she teaches her students, and I try to do the same with mine, and I've tried to inspire my students to come to Europe. I also had 6 students here this summer, and just to give them the experience of being here and jumping these competitions.
And Katie, how proud does that make you to know that you've been such an influence on lots of other people's careers from that point of view, as well as the success of your own?
My students make me tremendously proud, and I am very grateful that somebody as great as Laura still considers me an influence in her life. But I've had some wonderful students, and what makes me happy is that they all give back to the sport the great things they've learned, and I think that's important.
Well, I think that's a very good message indeed. I'm going to have to say thank you to all three of you, because we know you've got to go and compete down in our next class, so we're going to let you get going and show all your talents down there from that point of view, and you can get your training hat on, Katie, now. But thank you to all three of you, to Katie, to Reid and to Laura. Good luck for the rest of the afternoon, good luck for the rest of the series as well, and of course you're back on top, Laura, so very well done to you. Back at the top of the standing for the Longines Global Champions Tour. So one class left to come in the 5-star ranks, and that gets underway in a few minutes' time.